Hey everybody, Willie Murillo here from Los Angeles. I'm a trumpet player for those of you that don't know me, and I'm going to tell you about another trumpet player that you really need to know about. His name is Greg Spence, and he changed my life. Greg, thank you first of all for changing my life. Those of you that are watching this video, you don't even know how Greg changed my life, but I'm about to tell you the whole story. Short version, 2022, April 1st. We call it April Fool's Day here in the States. And I woke up, couldn't move the right side of my face. It was completely drooping, and I knew right away that it was Bell's palsy. I've had a few friends that have had it. They told me the experience. I decided that I was just gonna let it sit and just allow whatever was happening in my life to happen. And as I ask around, nobody has really any answers to how it happens. Doctors don't really know why it happens. There's a few things that can create the situation, but nobody really knows why it happens. I go to ITG last year, catch up with Greg Spence, and he hears about my situation, and I gotta tell you, it was a game changer. If you are somebody who has had Bell's palsy, some kind of injury, focal dystonia, or something like that, you need to get with Greg. Trust me. For those of you that know me, know that I don't really know much. It's kind of silly, but I don't really know much about trumpets and muscles and things like that. I've always been very natural. I work really hard. I practice. I baby my chops. I don't know much about mouthpieces and trumpets and all that kind of stuff. I kind of don't want to know. But all of a sudden, I'm in this situation. I have to know what's happening with my face. And I gotta tell you, I think there's a lot of people out there in the same way. They don't really know much about what's going on. We don't spend a lot of time stretching and doing these different things. But Greg Spence, Greg, I love you, man. Thank you so much. He changed my life. I was with Greg maybe 10 minutes. And we started doing these exercises and things, and he started having me visualize and work these muscles. And before, like literally the next day, things started moving at a way faster pace than they had for the last 9 months. Second story that I want to tell you, not only because of me, I have a student that I know for a fact that God put this kid in my life for just this reason. This kid also had Bell's palsy, opposite side of the face than I have. And so I set him up with Greg, and I show him some of the exercises that Greg has showed me, and just some of the ways to visualize and move and just to feel what's going on and how these things are attached to each other, and just the knowledge that Greg brought to me, I shared with this other kid. I call the kid's mom the next morning and I said, "Hey, how's Miles doing? Is this working for him? Any notice?" Before I could even finish, she texted me back, "Oh my gosh, I was just gonna send you this video of Miles." Instantly, day one, he's got all this movement and stuff. So I'm telling you, if you have had Bell's palsy or focal dystonia or anything in the family of these viruses or these crazy things that we just don't even know how they happen, and they affect us hugely because we're trumpet players, right? If you had anything like this, you need to call Greg. You gotta know what's going on. Call Greg. Do not go this alone. It is a life changer, and it will speed up the process like crazy. And I gotta tell you, again, thank you, Greg. I am much more aware of what's happening in that way. Greg has this magical way of just simplifying things and not making you feel like it's a medical process. He's just got this way about him that was so easy, and I just want to say thank you publicly, Greg, and I want to advocate for all my friends out there in our brass world. If you have an injury, go see Greg. It's a life changer. It will fix you right up, and I hope you all contact him because it is a life changer.